What's up, everyone? Back for another Whodunit Beer review, and today I will be reviewing the fourth and final beer that was sent to me by a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx. So thank you very much, Jeff. You know I do appreciate it. In the description box, I will be posting a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Jeff sent my way. He sent me a bunch of beer, but as I mentioned, he did send me 4 Whodunit beers. Now, the first 3 I've already reviewed. They were all in 16-ounce cans. Kind of a mixed bag as far as how well I did. The first one, I pretty much missed on. The second one, I did better, but didn't exactly nail it. And then the last one, I pretty much nailed. So we have a good review, a bad review, somewhere in between. So I'm hoping that this one I actually do quite well on, so I can say that this batch of Whodunit Beer review sent to me by Jeff, I did a good job on overall. That's the plan. Anyway, if you are unfamiliar with Whodunit Beer reviews, they are basically blind/mystery beer reviews where somebody will wrap up and conceal a beer, kind of like Jeff did with this one, and then they will either send or give me said beer, and then I will review the beer like I do any other beer on my channel, with the lone exception being I have no idea what the beer is. So at the end of the review, I try to guess the beer's style, ABV, and if I'm feeling confident enough, I'll try to guess the exact beer itself, although that is rare, and then I will rate the beer and then reveal the beer to both you and myself. Although lately I've been forgetting to rate it before I, unwrap it and we figure out what it is. So I'll try to do a better job today. Although I'm old, I forget, it happens. So what do I know about this beer specifically? Well, I do know that I'm pretty sure, about 98% confident, this is a 12-ounce bottle. It was sent to me from Jeff, who resides in Michigan, and that's pretty much it. It does have a unique cap because he has put black tape on the cap. He also has black tape on the bottom, so I can't see anything. I can't see if there's a bottle on date. I can't see the cap, so I have no idea. But, the first 3 beers were all, and I didn't realize this probably because I have a puny brain, but I didn't realize this until the last Whodunit Beer I did. All the beers that Jeff sent to me were from Griffin Claw. Now, I don't know if Griffin Claw puts their beers in 12-ounce bottles, so maybe this is Griffin Claw beer. Probably not. It's probably different. But this has been out of the fridge for about 45, 50 minutes, so we should be in prime drinking temperature as long as it's not like an adjunct lager or something. And that's all I know about it. So let's crack this one open and get it into a glass and go from there. A little bit of smoke there. So I'm not even going to look at the cap at all. Just put it over here with the black tape. And then this smells like a barrel-aged behemoth. I don't know. It just smells like a little bit of bourbon or something right off the rip. So we'll see. And so this does not look like I thought it would based on the nose. Definitely smells big and boozy though. All right. So that pours out this really nice mahogany almost. You know what this looks like, honestly? This looks like it could be a barley wine. It could be, a little light for an old ale, but maybe like a winter warmer, maybe a wee heavy. It just has this nice mahogany ruby red, but it's murky to some degree, a little bit. I can see through at the bottom. Had about a half finger to full-on finger of a lightly tanned head. I don't know how it's going to come off on camera, but it is dissipating. And yeah, it's looks like a lot of different styles. Let's get a nose. I don't have any idea right now. It seems like there's a big candied vibe to this one. Yeah, tons of dark but also lighter red fruits. Like there's apples. There's like sweeter cherries but not dark. Like maraschino cherry but not. It smells authentic. They smell like realistic. It doesn't, like sometimes maraschino cherries can have too much of the candied like syrup kind of vibe to it. Yeah. Caramel, toffee, sweeter. This one's sweet in the nose. And it smells boozy too, but it doesn't smell like it's barrel aged. And if it is, I'm not really picking up on anything barrel aged wise. A little bit of like a honey character. I don't know what this is based on the nose. It's definitely very sweet. It smells really sweet to me, and it smells like, like I said, red fruits, apples, cherries, but sweeter varieties of cherries, not like a sweet dark cherry or just a dark cherry in general. Caramel, toffee. Yeah, I don't know. I think Jeff is effing with me in this one because I have no idea. Let's get into it. Cheers to everybody, and thanks again, Jeff. Hopefully I try to decipher this by the end of it. Definitely a sour beer. First off, this has a firm tartness to it. I can definitely tell it's some kind of sour. It kind of is giving me almost like slight imperial sour vibes. All right, so a body on this one, straight up medium body. The mouthfeel, it's crisp. Has a nice effervescent kind of feel to it, very spritzy on the tongue. There's a nice sweetness up front too, like more of like a malt sweetness, like a little bit of caramel, a little bit of like toasted white bread, touch of toffee, but not much. Pass through the palate, there's a fruit hitting me. I want to say like raspberry. Say like raspberry. That's where I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, like a raspberry or some kind of nondescript red berry. I don't think it'd be strawberry, raspberry, something like that. Maybe some cherry as well, like a sweeter cherry. It finishes with a nice residual sweetness, but there is enough of that full-on firm tartness. There's an acidic vibe to the back of the palate and like a semi-dry finish as well. As you can see, I'm drinking this quite quickly. I have no idea what this is. To me, it's some sort of sour ale, I would say, to some degree. I'm going to say, based on what I'm tasting, it tastes like an imperial sour ale that is brewed with some sort of fruit. So a fruited imperial sour ale. Now, when I say imperial, this isn't a huge beer to me. Getting a little bit of stomach warmer stuff. I'd say like 8.5% if it is imperial. If this is like sub 8%, and let's say it's like 5 or 6 or something, I would say that this drinks with more character, but also more of just a bigger feel to the alcohol in general. But it has like bigger, more boisterous flavors than I would anticipate for something that would be, say, sub 6%. There's really no like alcohol in the palate, just a little bit of warming into the stomach and in the chest, and it just feels like a bigger beer. So I'm going to say 8%. We'll go 8 to 8.5, but 8% I'm going to say imperial sour ale, brewed with fruit. I'm going to say raspberries and cherries. I don't think there's any other, if this is barrel aged or like an oak voters or something, sure, there's a dryness that could be mistaken for like an oak tannin presence, but I don't think this is barrel aged. I don't think this is bourbon barrels. I don't think it's anything like that. So I'm going to lock in imperial sour ale, 8%, brewed with raspberries and cherries. And yeah, I don't know what this beer is outside of that. So 8% imperial sour ale with raspberries and cherries. Honestly, I say this in a lot of my Whodunit Beer reviews. I'm like, I don't know what it is. This one, I truly don't. The ABV, it could be anywhere from like 5% to 10%. Like, honestly, I don't know where the ABV, I'm just guessing 8 because of the boisterous flavors, and I'm getting a little bit of warming in the stomach. I don't think I'm probably right with the ABV. I wouldn't be surprised if this is 6. And the fruity character, I have no idea. Now, if this is not fruited and just a sour ale, that's crazy to me. Let's see, where does the tape begin? I have no idea. All right. All right, here's a piece of tape. Let's see if that helps us. Okay. Watch it be like Mad Elf or something. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah, I know what this is. I'm pretty sure, because I haven't picked it up. I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked at it yet. I just saw the label. I think this is that Imperial Blackberry, might be wine barrel aged Ballast Point beer. I'll let you guys see it before me. Let's see if it is. I think it's bigger ABV, but I'm not positive. Let's see here. All right, is that good enough? So what is it? Is it the Sour Wrench or whatever? Let's see. Yep. White wine barrel aged Sour Wrench. Ale with blackberries aged in Chardonnay and Sauvignon barrels. 7.1%. So I wasn't too off on the ABV, but listen, white wine barrel aged, sure. I could see that to some degree. There is an acidity here that I didn't even really talk about at the end. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. But honestly, this is not imparting a lot of like wine barrel to the beer for me. Like and again, I'm not a white wine drinker. I'm not a wine drinker in general. But when I've had wine barrel aged beers, I kind of know, especially red wine barrel aged beers, I kind of know that it's in a barrel. But this was giving me slight oak tannin hints, but no. Again, I didn't rate it, did I? Honestly, I enjoy this. I'm going to give it a high 4 out of 5. I'd go like 4.1. I really like it. I have been meaning to pick this up for a while. This is the 2018, by the way. Does it have a bottled on date somewhere? Doesn't look like it does, or it might be on the, is it on the bottom where he put the tape? Let's see here. Try to get in here if I can. Jesus. Barely have any nails here trying to get it done. Okay, so yeah, they do have a packaged August 23rd of 2018. So this is a year and a half old. So you're talking about a year and a half barrel-aged Imperial Sour. So I'm not too upset about how I did, how I did with them. I did say Imperial Sour Ale. It's approaching that 7.1. I said 8. I knew it was a sour ale, but I am disappointed I didn't pick up on the white wine or the blackberries. I said raspberries and cherries. This doesn't scream in blackberries to me, doing it blind. Now, I'm still getting, like I said, a nondescript red berry. I would have said red, like I did say raspberries when I did it blind here. Raspberries, cherries, not really. I don't get the blackberry taste. And it's funny because recently I reviewed a beer from Burley Oak, and I did their triple blackberry blackcurrant dream. And that reminded me of like full-on eating blackberries. This one, not so much, but you have a lot of moving parts. You have 2 different wine barrels that they're blending it with. You have the blackberries themselves and then the Imperial Sour portion. So I don't think I did all that great on this one, but I'm still not disappointed with how I did. The bottle itself is a year and a half old, and you're talking about an Imperial Sour Ale with blackberries, with 2 different white wine barrels. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen in a year and a half. So I do need to grab this one fresh. If this is, I don't know if this is like a rotating offering or if this is a year round or like a yearly offering, whatever. I need to grab one of these fresh and see how it is, because I feel like maybe this one has changed a little bit, but maybe it's just me doing it blind. And I'd love to see more people try this one blind, because I don't know. I don't think a lot of people pick up on the blackberries, and I'm not sure you'd pick up on the white wine doing it blind. Like I said, I missed on it to some degree, but I'm okay with it. So anyway, that was the last Whodunit beer last Whodunit beer that I've received from Jeff in the latest beer mail that he sent to me. I do have one more courtesy of another good friend of mine, a viewer of the channel, Dan, and then after that, no more. So these are so much fun to do. Even when you do kind of miss on a beer, or you miss like this one, it's still fun to do. You try to challenge your palate. I'm happy that I picked up that Imperial Sour Ale, or close to it. I'm happy that I did know there was fruit in here. Bummed that I missed out on the white wine and I didn't correctly pick the fruit, but at the end of the day, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I will say though, when it comes to white wine and red wine and just wine barrel aged beers, there's another one that was sent to me by Jamie, Basement Beer, and it was a what the hell was it? It was a crazy wine barrel aged one, and I picked like sour IPA with fruit or something. Maybe my palate just struggles to pick up on wine barrels in general. That definitely could be what it is. Because even drinking it now, I can tell this is acidic, this is sour, there's a dryness, but I cannot still tell you that this is wine barrel aged to any degree. It's probably my terrible palate. I'm sure Jeff will be like, man, I totally got a bunch of white wine. I'm sure a lot of other people will. But hey, you taste what you taste. And again, unless you're doing it blind like this and you've never had the beer before, I don't think you can correctly sit there and say, like, I totally taste it and stuff, because again, you're reviewing the beer, or you're drinking the beer knowing what the beer is. This is a whole different ball game, doing it blind and not knowing. So I'd be curious to know if anybody out there has had this one before, if you picked up on the wine barrel or you didn't. Did you pick up on the blackberries, the whole 9? Because yeah, that's the fun of this, is hearing other people's thoughts and what they thought about it. So once again, thank you very much, Jeff, for all of the beers and throwing me some curveballs. This is definitely one of the more intriguing and interesting Whodunit beer reviews I've done definitely recently, because like I said, a lot of moving parts, different beer, and it kind of threw me for a loop. And as you can see, that's why I'm struggling here, and that's why this review is gonna be like 15-20 minutes long, because I like to ramble. Again, be on the lookout for the Whodunit from Dan in the near future. If anybody wants to maybe do a small trade or send me some Whodunit beers so I can continue the series, feel free. I'm always down for that. Otherwise, I guess I will have to wait on another beer mail from some of my other beer mail trading partners like Jeff, Dan, and so on and so forth to do some more of these, because again, as I said, this is the most fun I have doing beer reviews. It's the most authentic way. And as you can see, you're not always going to be right. And this time I was basically 2 out of 4, we'll say. So I was hitting 50%. I'm okay with that. Thanks again, Jeff. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Check back, like I said, probably next week for Dan's Whodunit. And until then, cheers.